Good morning everyone, welcome back to the vlog, and today we're heading to the PInas Wetland Park. We're not going to see some cars, it's not going to be a luxury video. This is actually more near and dear to my heart because this is about the environment, and we're going to be doing a coastal cleanup. We're jumping in with a group named Planet CORA. If you guys want to volunteer and do your own coastal cleanup for yourself or a corporation, you can message them on Instagram at Planet CORA, and then they're in charge of doing these things. Back in 2019, we did about 5 coastal cleanups. It's almost one every quarter, and it was bad. I'm excited and a bit frightened to visit today because might be better, might be worse. I'm not sure. It's been ages since I've seen this place, and I'm excited to see my dear friend Antoinette Taus, who is the founder of Planet CORA. If you guys want to volunteer, Planet CORA does this on a regular basis, and they can arrange for you or your company to do this. Tonight is actually also Earth Hour, so decided that this would be a good day to start my Saturday morning. Some of the problems here also is that the Parañaque Wetland Park is connected to the Parañaque River, and during rainy season when the floodwaters rush through the city, the plastic garbages and all the other garbages get swept through the river, and it sort of circulates back into this cove. Now this cove is a protected site. It is about 120 hectares plus of protected site. There's mangroves here and mud fields, and it is home to about 54 bird species, and then half of that is migratory. And it's pretty sad because when plastic garbage breaks down over tens and decades of years, it becomes microplastics, and that becomes like the bird food. They see it as bird food and they eat it, and then they can't digest it. Their stomachs get full, and then all of a sudden now they can't eat other foods because they feel full, and then they end up dying from malnutrition. And I've seen this. I've seen bird carcasses on the beach, and it's pretty sad to see. I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Should the responsibility of doing the ocean cleanups be thrown back at the manufacturer, meaning that the producers of this plastic garbage should have put up a recycling center so that they can actually recycle all their used product? We don't have any sort of incineration also in the Philippines, which means most of these plastics end up in landfill. This place could have been a beautiful coastal town where it's right beside the city, it's by the water, and it could have been a great site for tourists and families to visit. But right now when people visit, they have to go through the wetland park, which doesn't show much of the garbage. But when we do go to the coastline, you will see a lot of garbage. So from what I see now, they've cemented the roads. There's a new building here, thanks to Senator Sindra Villar.
Oh my god, I can't believe they made it.
Finally, after how long? This is so cool. There's so many volunteers today. You can see how they're involving the youth also, and it's so nice. Let's do a quick peek right here outside. You can already see the garbage line, and I already see PET bottles. Very famous Coca-Cola bottle right there, C2, 7-Up, and we're gonna name names, name brands, and count at the end of the morning how many brands we see. So cool. There's so many volunteers today, lots of students, and then different clubs and SKs. Okay, so here are the facts. 181 hectares, 2 interconnected mangrove covered islands, shallow lagoons, and coastlines. And these are the mangroves here. So this is the Parañaque River, and then this is Manila Bay already. And this is the lagoon, which is home to fish. And then we have the Chinese egrets here, our Philippine duck, and yeah, mangroves. Tony's gotta work right now real quick. But this is the overview, so you guys have an idea what we're doing here and how big and expansive this area is. So what happens is during rainy season, the rivers get flooded, and then the garbage circulates here and comes back into this coastline right here. As soon as you get here, you're greeted by the registration booth, and then they're going to count your attendance, and then you can sit here for a briefing, and they're going to brief you about what's going to happen today and how they collect it. And at the end of the whole day, they do weigh the garbage down. After weighing the garbage, Tony does have a materials recovery center where they bring the garbage to, they sort it out, they clean it because a lot of the garbage also has sand on it. So after sorting it, cleaning it, they distribute it respectively to different areas. And we're gonna make the trip down and visit Tony at the recycling center so that we can see the work that they're doing. I know they convert some of the plastic stuff into usable furniture, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that just yet, but we're gonna get to see that pretty soon because Tony and I have a lot of catching up to do. Pistol. They have laundry clip, a lighter. These are no brand items. Here, Summit water bottle, Del Monte pineapple juice. And underneath all this, for sure, there's a ton of plastic. So here by the stones, a plastic cup, binoculars. This is Mogu Mogu. No idea what that is. I'm not picking up anything else because Tony mentioned that there's a new system that they're working with. They're working now with a Korean marine scientist group where they actually grid everything and measure the density per square meter. So we're gonna wait for the briefing, but in between, just to show you guys some more garbage. This is a Colgate sachet, a juice pack, Gatorade, Natural Spring, 2 sandals. At least it's a pair. This one was stuffed properly already. That's like a toy pattern. Tatong puti.
Angie Mead.
Morning!
So she will be joining us today and of course leading the charge for a better future.
I'm gonna grab a sack. Is this the last collection?
Must be. Not necessarily ours,
Yeah,
because there's
but-
a lot of people that come clean.
Look how clear the water looks today.
Yeah. See, that's like an iceberg. It's a big trash bag, but
But
essentially...
from before, right?
Yeah, it's not carpet. Hi!
Morning!
SK from San Isidro, yes. Nice to see you. Hi,
Galing.
Don.
So good. Look how many birds are here. The whole coastline has been feeding on hopefully not microplastic. So here further away from the start of the beach, you see more garbage.
Yes.
Tony's setting up. So we're gonna do PET bottles. Open up our sack. I don't know. Cobra. This is energy drink. Do you mix clear bottles with colored bottles also?
For the cleanup, yes.
Yes,
But,
but-
when we
and the
segregated
MRF.
it, the MRF,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Because it's a different price.
Yes. Because virgin plastic versus colored plastic.
Yes, and the
Yes.
prices are also different. The clear ones actually are worth more.
Do you consider the plastic cups as PET also?
No, they actually go into soft plastics.
So we have to be careful because sometimes there's nails on wood plank. Here's some more PET bottles. I don't know if these are natural spring water. It's the energy drink. This is Royal True Orange. I see some fire ants here. I don't have a brand for that. Wow. There's like a bunch here. It's the sandwich guy. Fast and fresh. Fruit orange soda. C2 sour apple. Mogu Mogu.
The bottles.
Never heard of Mogu Mogu.
Mogu Mogu! I drink that.
You drink that? God, it's like Coca-Cola, like a soap. This looks like Indonesian
many
even.
bags.
Export to the Philippines, duty paid. Yeah, it was sent here. Vita Boost. Wow, I've never heard of some of these brands. It's bright neon. How would you leave it behind?
Kasi daw, no one was gonna buy it.
I see so much more in under the tree line. I'm like,
Brands for you here. Pero sachet.
okay lang.
So,
What are our
there's a few.
sachet brands?
UFC, Copico,
And then I see
there's
dishwashing.
Donut, and we got you some bottled water. This is actually one of the most.
The
this
natural
one.
spring, yeah. I've seen a lot of those.
So it's actually not even about the brand anymore when you really think about it. Hi, Kuya Bob. It's really just about everybody's doing the same packaging system and it doesn't work.
Yes, I agree. I mean, the system is broken. That's why showing the garbage is only to call out the problem. not to fix the problem.
Commit to reducing production.
I haven't had a soft drink in ages. Sting energy drink, strawberry flavor. This natural spring. I'd say off the bat, Mountain Dew and Natural Spring. First Pepsi bottle that I've seen. My sack is almost full and I've only been here for a few seconds. How do
Oh my god, your bag's almost full. I told you how many bags can
how
come
do
in.
kids lose knapsacks? Oh my god, it's just buried here. This buried plastic. Definitely looks like a silver swan. Coca-Cola Diet. This one's been here so long that the wrapper's gone white. Lemon Juicy. Never heard of that. ABC Refreshment. Mountain Dew's gonna be our winner today. Oh my god. The bag's so heavy already. Smart Oishi Mountain Dew. It's gotta be soy sauce. Red Cap. Oh, Kikoman. Probiotic drink. That's gotta be detergent, Coca-Cola, and Mountain Dew. Let's put this on the side. Done. One.
I got a bunch of bags done.
I see. Damn. That was fast.
I know!
That was so fast. Okay. Take two. Second bag.
I love it. You're gonna go for a second bag?
Of course. Let's get in there. Vanilla latte. Our favorite Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, Valley Fresh, Coca-Cola. Ow, the tree has thorns. Coca-Cola. This is propylene line. Move this branch out, held by a leaf, snagged on a twig. I see a rubber shoe. These thorns are huge. This is Asia Brewery. Lean on the bamboo. Mountain Dew. Ouch. Mountain Dew. Right. Yeah, look how big these thorns are. Royal True Orange, no brand. It's gotta be Patis. Looks like the colors. Patis. Ow, sorry tree. Royal True Orange. This is so crazy. This thing put in one spot. Digging out garbage. There wasn't any thorns here. I'd have more way to get in. This is Mountain Dew. This one even has barnacles already. Meaning that's been in the ocean quite a while. Deterioration on the cap, barnacles also. Coca-Cola. It's got seaweed inside. Okay, I don't want to get in there anymore. Just gonna reach out here. Okay, Coca-Cola. Okay, so Tony is actually flying off to Ormoc today for Earth Hour.
Yes.
And she's here. We're by the airport anyway, and she needs to leave in a bit.
Yes, but so grateful to be able to do this with all the kids today.
I know. You have
Angie's here.
amazing list of volunteers today.
So many children from some nonprofit organizations, as well as our youth leaders, Sangguniang Kabataan, from the barangays in Parañaque.
And you know, as we know, the children get to influence their parents, and in return, hopefully the parents can influence their LGUs, and then that way, you know, it goes up the chain.
Yes, because policy change is really the only way that this is all going to be solved. But we all have to want it. The people have to want it. Companies have to make it happen.
I know. You know, as a business owner, I don't know how you would even begin to discuss with your board price cut or like a bottom line cut without pissing off investors and shareholders. I just don't know how that works, because every year everyone always expects growth.
You know, the one thing I always like to kind of go back to, and it's interesting because it's an old film, the film WALL-E, which was so much about consumerism and growth, and then the whole planet became a planet of trash.
Yes.
And I feel like it's almost a question of, do people really care? Or do company owners believe that this is happening? Because the investment or the pay cut or the price cut for anything or profit is actually something that's investing in the survival of humanity. It's not even so we can thrive anymore. It's actually to survive at this point, so that
We're getting to that stage, right?
yes. So we're already past the point of no return technically, but we can't just give up. And no matter what, even if you're past the point of no return, you can still heal and change things. But if we don't, it's just going to keep getting worse, and that's exactly what's happening right now. But companies have to take the lead, and they have to be willing to realize that less profit is actually not less profit. It's just reallocated investment into our future.
Yeah, rather than spending on advertisement, spend on recycling. Because they, all these multinationals spend millions and millions on advertising when they can just spend it on putting up their own recycling center and accepting these bottles for rebate. Because back in the day, you'd have to pay a deposit for bottles, right?
And actually, the one example that you could really think of is if all these products can make it to the ends of the earth, wherever there are people that there can be products sold to, the products are there, then they actually have the access and the logistics to be the ones to recover everything because they already get their products there.
Amen.
But of course, in fairness, naman, a lot of companies are making that effort.
Yes.
But it's just not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
I mean, when they promise X amount for recycling, it's only, I wouldn't even say 1% of their total gross sales.
And it's also not just recycling, like we hope that they can go back to traditional ways and delivery systems. I don't know if you remember, but I remember we still had a milkman.
Yeah.
Even here in the Philippines.
Yeah, you put out your bottle.
Yeah.
And then he'd swap it for new fresh milk.
And it had that cover on top, the paper cover.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I
Or
still
the
remember.
aluminum
Yes.
wrap. Yeah. Later on in the years, aluminum wrap.
I feel like if we did that before when plastic didn't exist, it's really just a matter of it got seemingly convenient. And because we don't see how it's killing us, we see how it's killing the environment and animals, but we don't realize how much it's killing us. I saw you posted about the brain having the highest accumulation of microplastics and things like that. So you don't see it, so you don't realize it is killing you and it's killing everybody else. And also that tendency that if everybody's doing it, you think it's okay. If it's being sold on the shelves, you think it's okay.
Yes.
And it's not just about plastics, it's the things we put on our body, on our skin.
Lotions.
That we eat.
Yes. Food that, sprayed with pesticides and oh my God.
You can't even trust anymore.
Everything is trying to kill us. There's like EMF from our phones and
seriously.
UV radiation from the sun and whatever we look at, it's out to get us.
It's funny, I was even reading yesterday, because I'm big on sunscreen.
Yes.
And then I heard someone say sunscreen causes cancer. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? But not sunscreen per se, it's the ingredients.
Sunscreen's bad for the corals.
Yes.
And then sunscreen's like,
yes. But there are reef-friendly sunscreen as well. But anyway, we're going down a whole tunnel now.
I have that French brand. Look, also PET bottles. Mountain Dew seems like the winner.
Yeah.
So many Mountain Dews. Have a good haul also. Our oceans! Yay! Everyone's got full sacks already. Barely here long enough. All the kids are bringing the garbage back so that they can weigh it. Normally for 8:30 to 9:30, I actually prepare for bed already, which means actually all the lights are off in my house. And I'm down regulating my system so that I can go to bed calmly. And my pledge this year is to turn off the air conditionings and keep the windows open so that I can consume less electricity. But there's many other things that I can do. But for now, for tonight, that's my plan. I'm happy to see how many schools and the Boy Scouts are here volunteering because the youth can influence their parents. The parents can influence their LGUs, the LGUs can influence their politicians, and in that manner, we can constitute change from the policy level. And that's what's needed for our campaign to fight against excessive waste and excessive production of waste. And hopefully, where the youth sees how bad the problems is, that they're more conscious when they can afford and when they grow up to, consume these things in the market. They now realize like, hey, I see a lot of that on the beach and I shouldn't buy it anymore. I'm quite curious what this big thing here is. And it's obviously floated in. Definitely looks like it's part of a dock or a pier. Formation, oh my God, it's a plug for the foundation. This is a cement plug for the foundation. I can see it now. It is fiberglass. How does that even wash away from your job site? I'm so curious. All right, so ended up weighing everything. The kids are gonna go back now for debriefing. Normally we stay here till about 11 a.m. and it's nice because it's not so hot today. The tide is low, but during rainy season, this gets crazier. And if you guys want to do your ocean cleanup or organize your company to do an ocean cleanup, you can come every month now. Just message Planet CORA. They have a schedule already that you can do volunteer work, or you can organize and sponsor your own weekend to do some volunteer work. So from here, the next step is to follow where the garbage goes and how it's recycled and reprocessed and sold in the Ecot Center. Excited for that, and hope you guys enjoyed this educational, inspirational video for the weekend. And if not, I guess I'll see you guys back in the car videos. Peace.